Dajahao, my name is Garrick, and welcome back to Taiwan, Lao Wai. In case you can't tell, I'm trying something new today. I'm trying to see how well I film on the back of a moving bicycle. Probably not my smartest play, but you know me, I'm always experimenting. Don't worry, I am keeping an eye out for cars. I can multitask like that. Supposedly. Anyways, we are off today on a very interesting mission. We're not going to spend the whole time on the bike, don't worry. There is a place relatively nearby called the Namchow Taiwan Tourism Factory. I've seen it on Google Maps a lot. From what I can gather, it is some sort of factory informational tour with cafe and restaurants. Pretty sure there's soap involved as well. I think I saw that, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm in for. But of course, that's all part of the fun, isn't it? It's about 17 minutes away by bike, hence why we're jumping on and filming like this already. I like to be efficient, what can I say? That's a lie. That's definitely a lie. Well, regardless, we're gonna make our way over to the Namchow Taiwan Tourism Factory. We're gonna see what it's all about. Hopefully, we're gonna have ourselves a good time. See you there. Okay, so once again we are in a part of the city that I am not too familiar with. This is still technically Taiyuan, but we are butting up against the borders of the new Taipei city area directly to our south. So it's a lot more industrial here, a lot more factory-centered, a lot less residential areas. As a matter of fact, we're passing by what sounds like a factory right now. I hear pistons whirring and stuff. So this is definitely the manufacturing district of Taiyuan City. Now I know we're going to a place called a tourism factory, but I'm pretty sure it itself is not an actual factory, or at least the part we're visiting isn't. But again, I've never been here before, so I've got no idea what to expect. What I do know is that I'm getting pretty hungry and I have not eaten anything today yet, so there does seem to be a cafe at the tourism factory, so that might be our first stop before we go sightseeing. Oh, hello, this is interesting. I've got a whole map guide of this so-called industrial park. Very interesting way to frame this area, because I sure would not peg it for a park if you asked me. I would peg it for like an industrial district. Interesting way to think about it though. Neat. So I guess we are technically in Guishan Industrial Park right now. I guess that's what this area is called. And it is definitely a bit rougher than the place I live in. It definitely feels like a place where not a lot of people would choose to settle down. I believe that Taiwan still has a pretty big manufacturing economy, although what it is they manufacture I could not tell you. I think computer chips are like a big part of that, but other than that I'm not sure. Whatever, I've been yapping too long. Let's get where we're going, shall we? I did not realize that. We are passing by the Coca-Cola Museum right now. I think I might have seen this on Google Maps before, but I don't think it sunk in until now. Like, yeah, that's a Coke museum. It does appear to be closed temporarily, so I don't know when I will be able to visit it for myself. But we'll keep an eye out, we'll see when it opens up again. It might be a fun video to do. Regardless, I see a couple signs across the street over there. I think that is our tourism factory. So without any further ado, let's see what it's all about. ramen restaurant, but it's sort of an everything-in-one restaurant. There are like 4 or 5 separate menus they gave me. There was Thai food, there was, ramen, there was Chinese soup dumplings and pastries, there was Italian diner stuff. Genuinely, they had like absolutely everything you could think of. It was a little crazy. So clearly, I'm gonna need to come back here and try more of the stuff they have. Because let me tell you, not even I have a big enough stomach to sample that whole menu in one trip. As much as I wish I did. Whew. Alright, chicken Caesar salad. Let's get this party started. There are not enough places in Taiwan that do a good Caesar salad. Even a lot of the Italian restaurants don't even try. So I savor them when I find them. It's good. I wish the dressing were maybe a little creamier and more Parmesan-y, but I'll take what I can get. You know what this feels like? It feels like the kind of salad you would build for yourself at a salad bar. It has that sort of, I guess, food sense to it. It's not necessarily a criticism, just an observation. I think it's the bacon that does it. Seeing bacon, like bacon bits on a Caesar salad, just gives me that sense of, oh, I put this together at a salad bar. I did my spoon of the bacon bits and the croutons, yada yada yada. Good shit. I'm happy. Oh, okay. So one of my favorite snacks to get in Taiwan is the flaky scallion pastry. It's this very flaky, buttery dough, and inside you have this luscious, sort of sweet, sort of umami scallion paste. Yes, we are cross-contaminating with the Caesar salad and now the Taiwanese pastry, but as long as the menu's that extensive, I figure might as well. There's something so magical about these, I tell ya. Especially when they're still this warm inside. When you cook scallions that long, it sort of fades out a lot of the harsher allium flavors, and you're left with something that's very sweet, very salty, and just a little punch of the oniony tang. It's addicting. It's a really good scallion pastry too. The dough is extra flaky. The filling itself is so unctuous and still piping hot. You can get very good scallion pastries from the Family Mart as well, but this is definitely on another level. Seriously, if you ever come to Taiwan, make sure to try some of these at least sometime. Taste of the nation right there. Alright, and speaking of things you can't really get very easily in Taiwan, we got pretzels. Gotta admit, I expected one pretzel. I did not expect a whole frickin' tower of these guys. My god. I mentioned before that deli culture and stuff is one of the food types that Taiwan just does not have a presence of. So no lunch meat, no hoagies, no pretzels. There's no soft pretzels. I have seen some hard pretzels every now and then. Point is, these are a luxury here. They're a very hot luxury. I think they have been fresh baked. They've also come with 2 choices of spreads. We got butter and we've got a liver mousse, which I have never had on pretzels, but I do have nostalgic memories of my grandma's chicken liver mousse, so hopefully that will work out well. First things first though, we gotta try these bad boys plain. Okay, that's a lot moister than I was expecting. I'm used to pretzels of this style being pretty dry, sort of in the vein of cafeteria pretzels, but no, there is a decent, moist crumb to this dough. Well done. It did take like 35-40 minutes for these guys to come out, so I guess they must have been fresh baked. Well worth the wait, I'd say. Right, we stuffed a pat of butter in here as well, and it's so hot it's melting right away, as it should. That's lava in my mouth, oh my god. Fantastic, luscious, creamy, generational. That really is just the extra fatty unctuousness that puts this over the top. Oh my god. Alright, so the butter's an absolute win. Let's try some of the chicken liver mousse and see how that works out. Can't really taste it, honestly. It's too mild is the problem. It's very nice on its own. It's got this mild, not very organ-meaty taste at all. But the pretzel itself is so strong and so hot that it overwhelms it and you can barely taste it in the same bite. Well, that's disappointing. I had high hopes for that. Tell you what, I'll give it another try when the pretzels are a little cooled down and not quite so hot and overwhelming. Maybe that'll work better. There is an interesting contrast here where the fat parts are super fluffy and creamy, and the thinner parts are super duper crunchy. God, I'm happy. Alright, some people are starting to look at me a little strange with all the filming I'm doing. I'm gonna put this phone down now and just enjoy in silence. Cool? Cool. Well, I'm fucking stuffed. Also, I can confirm, once the pretzels cools down, the liver mousse worked a lot better, so there's that. God, that was fantastic. Woo! There really is nothing like stumbling upon a restaurant you had no idea existed and it just blowing your mind.
Well, I should have checked the forecast. It's raining, which means we are caught outside without our umbrella. God dang it. On the bright side, we did get our soap. For what it's worth, this tour was entirely free. The only extra thing was getting to stamp your own soap, which was just 20 NTD. Of course, it was entirely in Chinese, so I barely understood any of it, but it was still a cool experience. Actually, this is kind of wonderful. One of the Taiwanese couples saw that I was sort of stuck up the creek without a paddle, and they are offering to drive me back to my apartment in their car, which is just so wonderful. Seriously, thank you so much if you're watching this video, I don't know how many months after the fact. Thank you. I should also mention my meal was pretty expensive. It was $7.54 NTD. But if you just come in here to do the tour and walk around and get some soap, it is gonna cost you basically nothing. Alright, this day is ending much better than I thought it would end. I think this is a good point for me to stop the video. It's about 3 o'clock right now. This definitely took more of my day than I anticipated, but that's fine. It was just fun to do, and sometimes things just have to be fun to do, you know? With that said, thank you so much for joining me again at Taiwan Lao Wai. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll see you next time. 再见. Bye-bye!